What an abs- whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, that might be too strong there. What's going on with the microphone? I hope it's okay. And that seems weird. Hold on. Literally nothing is ready. What the hell? Okay, I gotta do some more testing. Okay, never mind. It seems it's good actually. Just don't. Okay, maybe let's not repeat that. Anyways, yeah, I thought I was too loud, but actually no. So let's just keep the music rolling, I guess. All right. I think I'm gonna go desktop immediately when I don't have the chat pulled up on my other computer. Gonna want to do that. And also, if I press go live, does it actually go there? Yeah, good. Yay. Okay, amazing. Wait, it's still on starting soon. I thought I had, is it not on desktop? Does it just not want to? Oh, there you go. Wait, is the PNG not working now? What? Okay. I have to do a be right back already. Like, amazing. Why is the PNG not working? Hello. What even changed there? Literally doesn't make sense. What's going on? Hello? Why does it not want to move? Literally nothing is going right now. And I changed to nothing. Yeah, let's not quit the thing that gives me the music. That would be kinda bad. I'm so confused. Oh, let me at least give you like a start with a PNG that isn't moving. Like I'm less than a PNG tuber right now. What if I refresh the current page? No, doesn't work. I have to look inside, I guess. Wait, maybe it's the. Yeah, it shouldn't need a WebSocket connection, should it? No. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Oh god, okay. I need to open a different Explorer because I'm using this one for music. Makes sense. So to make the PNG move, what am I gonna do? This, God. Imagine starting like that and wasting so many, so many minutes when I should have started long ago. Okay. So it's probably the WebSocket thing. Yeah. That's the correct port. Is it the... Huh. It changed the IP for some reason. So guess I'm changing the IP of the WebSocket. Wait, why does Krita not want me to modify this? This is bad. God, can you just let me modify this, please? Raise limit, please. Thank you. There you go. The offset IP address. Please modify it. There you go. So that's the thing, and then the server password seems to be the same thing, so that's good. Which YouTube audio related feature is worse? Stable volume or auto dubbing? Right, that's the question you asked last time. Hello, Andre, by the way. Hold on, let me just fix this token issue first. Finally, okay. Jeez, like the OBS the WebSocket IP address keeps changing for some reason, and I don't know why. So I guess I just have to do this manually for some reason. It is what it is, I guess. Anyways, I think we can finally go on my desktop. Finally. Okay. So as for your question, Andre, I'm not sure what stable volume is. Auto dubbing might be good, but only if you don't force it on people, which seems to be what YouTube is doing, so yeah. But ultimately I don't know, because I don't know stable volume, so yeah. Also, let me just make sure that the volume is correct everywhere, and then I'll start explaining what I did last stream and then go on with more features and stuff. Okay, volume is completely correct. That's good. Stable volume is simply dynamic range compression, which, while it can be good for some content, can be detrimental for ASMR experience and even music. I see, okay. Dynamic range compression. Alright. Yeah, I'm having a hard time picturing how it sounds like, but if it's detrimental to some experiences and you can't disable it, I mean, like, ultimately, features like that are good for some cases and bad for others. So the good thing to do, regardless of these features being there, is for it to be a choice and not forced on you. Like, that's ultimately the problem. The problem at hand is that. That's it. Alright! Let's finally talk about what we did last stream. Well, what I did last stream. There's nobody else doing this. I mean, there's probably plenty of people making their own UI frameworks out there, but like, this is my project basically. So last stream, I finally started the widget inspector that I wanted to do. And it looks like this right now. So all of this widget tree with tons of indentation that is being displayed here corresponds to all of the widgets that are here. So like the random top dog, the sidebar, the two contents, all of the splits that are resizable and stuff like that. And so, what I want to be able to do is, like, there's a bunch of stuff. So, I want to carefully choose the kind of information that I display on each line for each widget. I also want to be able to, like, hover on a line and for all of the widget's information to appear on this panel. And I also want to be able to do, like the browser does, which is, like, having some button here that when I click I can hover over some widget above the widget inspector, like anywhere else inside the view, and be able to inspect it by clicking on it. Right. That feature that I just described, I don't think I'm gonna do that on this stream, because I think choosing the information and making the widget info panel, like filling it up, is gonna take me enough time already. But also, in between that, I feel like the way I'm displaying the widgets right now is not quite ideal. Like, for example, right now, like, the indentation is unclear, and I also have no way, due to how I made things, to, like, remove them. Say, collapse the tree. I cannot do that right now. And so, I want to be able to do that, but to do that, I'm gonna have to have a different approach for how I lay things out here. I'm gonna need a different kind of cache. That's what I'm thinking there. Right. So Ari says it has to be a choice even for the stable volume feature. Where it just reduces the dynamic range to make it listenable in ways and layers. That is turned on by default. Yeah, I guess. Like, okay, are you saying it's turned on by default, but then you can turn it off? In which case, maybe opt-in is better, but I wouldn't know. If you're saying that it's turned on by default and you cannot disable it, then that's the problem. Either way, yeah, that's basically what I want to do. Before any of that, though, there has been one very kind of small thing that I want to do right now before I engage into the widget inspector again, and that's making sure that I can change the color of my split panel, because like the color of the splitter in my split panel, because right now I cannot control it. So everything here has to have the same color because it's hard-coded into the component. So I'm gonna change that. Let's go into components. Right below, and there we go. the split component that I wrote like 1 or 2 streams ago. And what was I doing already? Yeah, color. The color in question. There's one hard-coded here, and that is the background when it is not hovered, and then there's the background when it is hovered. So I'm gonna do that. I am going to have I'm basically gonna do the same thing, like just colors, except I'm gonna put it after the props, and then it's just gonna be a tuple of U32. I tend to do a tuple when there's wait, actually not quite. Just to explain my thought process, I have a button component, right? And my button component, if I go to the button component, right, button box, there's a button colors thing. Oh, okay, this time it's different. So, in my head, the thing I had was that I was using a tuple where the first was hovered and the other was pressed, but no, I made a struct. And the tuple actually corresponds to background and border, not to hovered and pressed. So it's not necessarily gonna be clear what the colors are if I don't document it. It's like I guess I'm gonna do some very light kind of documentation then. So split component, and then the color tuple contains the color of the splitting edge. First one on idle, second one on hover. There you go. I'm very bad at documentation, but at least I'm gonna document that, and then I think I'm gonna do a documentation pass at some point, but today is not that day because I'm lazy and procrastinating. Right, so first thing I'm gonna actually I'm gonna the colors tuple. There you go. Then the first thing I'm gonna do is destructure it into idle color, not with a dash, please, and then hover color equal colors. Why did it insert a semicolon out of nowhere? That makes no sense. Bah! There you go. Idle color, hover color, and there we go. Gonna do it like this, and there you go. That was easy. And now everywhere where I'm using a split, I'm gonna have to specify this. So, the page frame has the page, which is a bunch of splits, and then it has the debug inspector. So now the question is, what color do I want for the debug inspector? I think I'm gonna go with something peculiar. First off, for the bunch of splits, the color that I want for all the splits intro right there. There you go. Is this, like, I'm not gonna change the splits inside of the bunch of splits. I'm gonna do the same for everything. Let split colors equal to this, and then I'm gonna put them everywhere like that. Split colors, and that's it, I think. That's it. Yep. That is indeed it, except not. There was this one left. There we go. So that's the color of the splits, and for this one, I'm gonna do something slightly different. Wait. Since we're at it, let's keep the theme of my other project that I wanted to do and use this color. This is the icon of my of the music player that I want to make eventually with this UI framework. Whoops. No, not like that, bruh. So there you go. That would be on hover. And then on not hover, FF at the end, by the way. On not hover, it would be Forjo Dark BG border, isn't it? Right? Is that what I use in the debug inspector? Let's see. BG1, BG border. Yep, that's what I used. So let's test that. Shall we? Let's test that. Wait, what? Where error? Type annotations needed. What? What do you mean type annotations needed? Oh wait, did I forget? I forgot. Oh god. Okay. It seems that I forgot colors in other places as well. So I gotta be careful. Why did I put Control G? Anyways, so in this dot split, what is this split? What is it? And it is inside of the debug inspector, and it's right. Yeah, okay. Wait, what? Where did I? What? Oh, the split that I did. Okay, okay, I get it. Okay, I'm just gonna copy this now and use the same split inside of the debug of the widget inspector and see how it goes. Inspector. So it looks more coherent right now, and also I'm quite sure that with some animations that would look even better. But it doesn't feel like the best thing right now. Inside, however, that is actually like really good theming, because it's the same color as the border that is right here, and that's what I want. So yeah, okay, good, we have that out of the way now. I'm gonna keep it like that, I guess. Might change the color of this one later, but for now, I can live with that. So, with that out of the way, I'm gonna do this commit very quickly. Make colors of the split component customizable. Colors of the split components edge. Like, I never know how to call this thing. Customizable. Alright, that's done. So now let's go back to the debug inspector thing. Oh, this is probably complaining that I have too many arguments. Which I should actually allow in cargo.toml because I literally do not care. Yeah. Too many arguments, I think. I think it's gonna allow it now. Yep. Yay! Okay, good. Right, so in the UI, no, that's not where I wanted to go. It's in the scene. I'm making the debug inspector in the scene right now. Right, information. Right. Okay, I noted that last stream to know which things I wanted to display on the widget line. So let's get to that. I'm probably gonna display the layout thing. Like it's gonna be the first thing that's gonna be displayed, like right after the widget word. I'm gonna do that. That's, I think, the most important bit, in my opinion. So I'm gonna do that. Now let's see. How am I doing stuff? Right, here I have the widget line badge. I made a widget line badge function because I have several badges every time. I have first the widget line, which is this thing, and then I have a widget line badge where I have position and size. Then, what I'm gonna do is, wait, no, before these badges, actually, I want badge layout to be widget line badge of so the thing in question, before writing that, is I want to display specifically either stacked, flex row, or flex call. I want to display these strings specifically, even though the way my layout is written internally is somewhat different. This is, to me, like the most concise way to express my layout. So, I mean, the kind of layout that I have. So let me just, to make sure, you know what I'm talking about. This is what my widget layout enum looks like. Like, it is stacked, or it is flex with a direction inside, and the flex direction is horizontal or vertical. But like, I don't want to display like widget layout : flex and then direction : horizontal or whatever. I just want flex call or flex row. And I also don't want to display the gap. That's gonna be for the widget information side of the widget inspector. Because I think it's only gonna be useful on that side. Right. So I'm going to match on the layout. And to match on the layout, right, I have the solve direct. Right, yeah, I knew I was gonna use something else in that, which is in this declaration. I was gonna pull something out of this widget, which is why I wrote it like in this weird way with a unary tuple. Literally no one does that, but that was just because I knew I was gonna pull something more later. Props layout, right? Yep. So that's the first thing I pull, is the layout. Then I match on that layout. Then I'm gonna import widget layout because that is way too long. Right? If it is stacked, then the string is gonna be stacked. If the direction is horizontal, then it is flex row. Otherwise, it is flex col. And thus, that's gonna be the layout text, I guess. Obviously not with a dash. I don't know why my computer is having such a hard time right now, but maybe it's double streaming. Now, for the badge layout, I can just give the layout text because it doesn't need any formatting. And then the colors in question, they would depend. I want them to depend on the kind of layout it is, to be completely honest. So I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna return three things: the layout text. Then how did I call these? FG color and BG color. Just call them FG and BG. Like that. Not quite accurate, is it? There you go. Then there's gonna be some FG in there. So for stacked, I'm gonna choose the color of my icon again. What am I even running, bruh? There you go. I'm gonna take this again, and I'm gonna put it as the... Wait, FG? No, okay. That's gonna be the background color. And then the foreground color is not gonna be that. But instead, it's going to be a lighter version of that. Right, that should work. Like that. Then, for the flex row, what kind of color do I want, really? That's the question. Let's go with yellow. This kind of yellow. Slightly orange yellow. Like that. Also, I always forget the FFs at the end, they're quite important. Let's use that as a foreground color, and then vertical. Let's go with a color like that, I guess. I'm a bad designer, aren't I? Well, what did I even do? Oh, Control B just hides things, okay. That's a Sakura pink. Then, finally I can just specify FG and BG. And there we go. Or maybe not. Widget line badge, that's why. There we go. It's taking so much time just to add one badge. And I feel like part of it is because of my computer, even though it's a gaming computer. I wish I had more power, to be honest. Why is it taking so much time? Either way, okay, I really like this. That being said, I think I want it plain. So foreground color in all of these cases are gonna be 0, and then widget line badge I'm gonna have like a fill parameter where how am I gonna do this? Like the BG color thing. Let's call it color, I guess. Match on fill. If it is false, then it's just like before, right? Otherwise, it is just BG color. Like that. Then I want this to be fill, but I want this to not be fill. And the subsequent badges as well. There we go. Amazing. There is not enough padding though. I need more padding. You just add more padding in the widget line badge. 3, 2. That's gonna have to be something like 6, 6, 2, I guess. Let's see what this ends up being. Yes! That's a good one. Okay, padding is nice now. And it looks a lot better. And there's way more stacked, which is why I chose the color of the icon of the underlying project. This is really nice. I love this. Okay. Okay. We have the first one done. Then there's the children count. Yeah, I guess. I guess that counts. And then the flags. Yeah. Okay, let's just display all of this information. Children count. Direct children, by the way. Wait, where is the information that I am extracting from a widget here? There we go, here it is. Can I get the... No, I did not make that public. This is what I want to access, and it seems like I did not expose that. Yeah, okay. Let me expose that then. Not like that. Remove the extra C. Children. Yep, that is a variable. There you go. Now I can access it. Widget.children count, like that. Jesus Christ. But my PC is really not catching up for some reason. Like my input is throttling. This is pretty bad. Wait, no, that wasn't here. There you go. So, I have the first badge, which is the layout badge. Let me just... Layout badge. Then we have position badge. Then we have size badge. Then after the the layout badge, it's gonna be the children count. So this is gonna be something that looks like the position badge thing. Actually, hold on, let me just try something. I'm gonna call that pause text. And if I format that, it's almost on one line. Almost. Only almost. Well, okay. Well, I'll take that. I'll take that. Oh, this is really not being on one line. It doesn't like this. Let me try something else then. I'm gonna try a nested match statement. Surely it's gonna like that. There we go. Yeah, that looks better. I don't really like nested match statements that often, but they work, and in this case it's more concise. So, yeah. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing as the badge pause thing. I'm gonna call this the size text. And then put the size text here, and then it's gonna be on almost one line. And there we go. We have the widget line badge, which, by the way, I'm gonna shorten to WL badge. And now it's on not even one line actually before the last one, so I'm not gonna bother actually, because no, that was a bad idea. So now I'm gonna have Jesus Christ, why can it not? Oh god. I'm gonna have to do this more slowly than I want to, but oh well. So the children count text, that is gonna be just so the way I'm gonna do it is I'm just gonna have square brackets in there. And then I'm gonna put the children count inside of that, and that's gonna be it. It's called the badge children count, like that. And it refers to the children count text, still in one line. Great. I mean, this line, I mean. Secondly, the whole assignment is 2 lines, but that's a detail. So anyways, badge children count. We have the children count, the position badge, the size badge, the layout badge. So that's done. Now I want the flags. So the way I displayed flags when I was debugging at first, let's see, didn't I have... Let's go to UI, shall we? Then inside of the widget prop struct, there are widget flags. And maybe I don't want to do that. I'm not sure if I actually want to do that. Having some specific cases where I choose what to display, like for example the scroll. The scroll seems pretty important. The input seems pretty important too. But outside of that, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's a good thing to display. Really not sure. So how am I gonna approach this? I think I'm gonna do some special displays depending on the flags that are there. Like, I don't really care about these, for example, because like being able to draw them is like that's fine. I can just have this in the inspector. Scroll is pretty important because it is kind of relevant to layout. So I'm gonna specify that. Input, I probably will too. What else? This is also something I'm gonna ignore. So yeah, disabled though. So for disable, I was thinking of having the whole line dimmed in some way. And I think I'm gonna take the background of the widget inspector and slap a rectangle on top of it because I don't have compositing right now. Yeah, that seems good. Alright, let's start with the scroll and the inputs. Gonna do it like that. Split. No. No, it's in C. I already forget where I am. Let's just preview the children count first. Shit. That is not what I wanted to do. I did not want it to have this color. Let's make it more like gray or something. Say foreground 0 and then background CC or something. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Good enough. Here we go. Then what else? The flags. So for the flags, as I said, it's gonna be maybe the children count is gonna be the border of everything else. So let's have a think about flags. First off, if it's an input, if it's some kind of text input, right. Okay, first things first, we gotta take the widget flags. Oh, is that just not accessible? Oh wait, it's part of the props. Flags, like that. Call it flags. Then here, there are gonna be ifs this time. So if flags has a specific flag that is text input. For now, it's gonna be text input or password input because I'm not really concerned about differentiating the two in a single line. I think I want to see that in the inspector, so we're gonna go with that for now. And for that, let's put it here somewhere. I think I'm gonna use some kind of default color, and the default color is gonna be this blue thing. Or maybe, actually, never mind. I'm gonna have a default background color, and it's gonna be that. Let default FG and BG is gonna be the CC one. So first off, the default FG is gonna be that. Good for fill kind of oh wait, yeah, I don't need to specify it like that anymore. FG is just gonna be the default FG. Right, this is the wrong the wrong operation. Let's add a badge for input inside of this thing, and the text is just going to be input, and it's going to be default everything. Like that. So now we know whether something is an input, but I have no input in my demo right now, so we're not gonna see any in the widget tree, but like the widget inspector's widget tree, sorry. But at least it's there. So now the only thing left is the scroll, and we do not have that either, but I can add it. I can add a text input as well, I guess. Either way, here's the scroll. So if it has a scroll, then add a scroll thing like that. It can scroll, okay. And it would be really weird for these two to be on at the same time, but it is something that is possible, so it is what it is. Now, that being done, the flags bit is done as well. Hovered pressed now. Let's I guess I'm gonna have to add something to the bunch of splits thing that I have. Give me a second. Inside of the bunch of splits. Yeah, shit, this is what I don't like about having the state be currently global. Because if I want to add a scroll view now, I need to add an argument that it takes a scroll view state, which is not very good, not gonna lie. So I'm gonna trust the thing for now. I'm too lazy to add a scroll view to the other thing. Actually, screw it. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. It's gonna take some time, but it's fine. It's in the scene. Jeez. Holy shit. There you go. I don't know why it's so slow. Like, it's just my PC, I guess. Scroll view. Right now that I have one. Oh, also, let's take that as a reference. Wait, no, I cannot actually. Never mind. Scroll view. Then I'm gonna add one inside of some split. Let's put it in the left sidebar. Regular scroll view using the mouse, then it's gonna be just this key. Then I'm just gonna do size fill, then I call it scroll view. That, and then right, this is a closure that takes a UI context and an index. So UI index, I call it IDX. Then I'm gonna put that in there. Then I'll have a key and index. And that should be it. Let's make it like that. Because why not? Wait, no. That ain't gonna work. I'm instead gonna build a widget that has the proper key. Then draw a background border. Actually just a background. Okay. Then let color is gonna be equal to just some match. Like, I'm gonna alternate between colors, right? Index modulo 2 is 0. And then it's gonna be like 0, 80, actually, 420. Hello. Dot color like that, and that should be it. Dot size fill. Right, it takes the regular scroll view mutably. There we go. Okay. So now there should be a scroll view inside. And it's gonna modify the properties. So now, where a bunch of splits is used, I need to specify a regular scroll view. I'm gonna specify the same inside of the global state. The bad global state that should not stay there. Split RSV it is. I'm just gonna have something like... I mean, I can have literally an infinite amount of elements. Let's make it 1,000. It doesn't matter. Element size, I'm gonna say 32, gap of 0. And then I just specify split RSV here and split RSV here. And we good. Never mind. We're not good. Oh, there is an error somewhere. Here, right. Yeah, the element size is supposed to be floating point. Obviously. So now we're gonna have a scroll view somewhere. Yep, here we have a we have a... Oh god, this is not being clipped. I forgot. I needed to do that. Let me just where did I write it? It's inside of the bunch of splits thing. There you go, regular scroll view. Props.size fill. And then we add a flag. And we want to clip the content. But wait. The split is supposed to clip the content. What's going on? Oh wait, no, it was the block that was doing that. That makes sense. Like, by the block I mean the BWT function that I wrote, yeah, the block with text function helper that I wrote, which has clip content inside, that's what is clipping the content. I'm not clipping any content in my scroll view by default. Now, if I run it again, yep, it is clipped. Perfect. Okay. Good. So now, if I go to the inspector, not like that. There we go. Now we see even more of them. Also, maybe I should not display the children count if it's 0. That's probably a good thing to do. Scroll is being displayed! Let's go! Yeah, things are in a good spot. I'm going to make sure it's not displayed if it's if the children count is 0 though. If children count more than 0, it never triggers at the right time for some reason. Is more than 0. What is it doing? God. Then we see that it is not displayed when it's not 0 now. Yep, starting to look good. Okay. Now that this is done, what else are we gonna do? It's the stuff that is here, right? Whether it's hovered or pressed. Okay, I mean, first off, the position and size are done, so we really only have this left. And I think I'm going to change the background color of the line instead of the widget line, instead of like adding another badge to it. Alright, let's do that. So all of these badges are there, but the line itself has a draw background, and that's funny because it has no background right now specified. Oh wait, okay. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna draw it as a border, just to distinguish between when I hover the line itself and when I hover the widget that corresponds to the line. Right. Then border, and then the color is gonna be line border color that I defined earlier. The width, let's say 2, and the radius 0, like that. Then the line border color, what is it gonna be? Let's say oh wait, I can do something even better. I can let the border color be the same, but have the border width change depending on if it's hovered or pressed. So let's see. If the line itself, well, I'm gonna have to change that later, it seems. So the line border width is if a line is clicked, then it's going to be, no, not click, pressed. If it's pressed, it's going to be something like, let's say 8 or 6 rather, yeah. Else if line dot hovered, it's gonna be 2. Else it's gonna be 0. I'm gonna transform that into a match statement though, because it gets eerie to have this. Nothing if line pressed goes to 6. Nothing if line hovered goes to 2. Nothing else just leads to 0. And this is the wrong character, and that is what being used. And then we access the widget corresponding to the line. And then put the border width to the line border width. And it's gonna be it. And then the line border color is gonna be the same color I had before, somewhere. I'm not sure which one it is anymore. This one. There you go. 0 at first. And oh, it's a vec4. Right. I need to splat everything. And same here. I need to vec4 0 everything. And here I need to .id. And now the line should appear when something is pressed or like hovered. Did I maybe just not do it correctly? I don't see anything being done right now. That is curious. Oh wait, I said if the line is pressed or hovered. That's gonna be wrong. Yeah, okay, now if I hover the line themselves... Wait, no, it's not doing it? Or like it's half doing it? Kinda? It's not doing it. Yeah, it's weird. Either way... This is not what I wanted. It's not if the line is pressed. It's something else. What is it? Inside of the line state, yeah, the line state probably has the widget in question. Right, yeah, the widget is the widget corresponding to the line state, and this is where I get everything I want. So let's do that. Let's get everything I want and then do this thing. And let's get whether it was pressed and hovered. God, I did not expose that now, did I? Let's just return a reaction, since I already do that. Why did it use parentheses? Okay. Everything here is just self-dot thing. Self-dot, and there we go. Wait, no? Oh, I don't store it. God, okay. Never mind then. No reaction it is. I'm gonna do an individual thing for every one of these properties. At least hovered and press, and I'm gonna add the rest later. There you go. Pressed. No 0, please. What is going on? I don't know how to write it anymore. Pressed and hovered it is. And that should do it. Now we'll see probably more clearly what's going on. Is it just not doing anything? How is it that it's not don't get it. I'm literally hovering over it, like, right now. Oh, it's showing this one, which is interesting. But for some reason, this one... Oh. Wait, what? Yeah, this is weird, not gonna lie. Yeah, this is weird. It seems to only like half work. That is curious. It should completely work, like not just like that. That's weird. How am I even supposed to debug that? Oh, another one to ban. God. Okay. What's the spectrum analyzer on the top left corner of the screen? That is Panon. It is a KDE widget. Let me just put it in the chat. It's that's the name. It's Panon, like that. Panon. How am I supposed to debug this? This is gonna be weird, not gonna lie. Run it again? Like I'm kind of confused, to be completely honest, as to why some of it works, but like some of it doesn't. Oh, okay, it was just below, basically. Never mind. It seems I'm just dumb. The stuff about the splits was more below. That's it. That's all that was happening. All right. Well, that's good. That's more information. So, well, now that this is here, I basically completed the information that I wanted to display in a single line. I don't have much else that I want to display, so Sorry. It's gonna be time to populate the widget inspector, like the widget info panel. Okay. Yeah, that turned out pretty well. Like this one. Yeah. Although, okay, there is one thing that I want to do, and it's I added a scroll bar here to this scroll view, and there isn't one in this inspector. That is pretty important, so I'm gonna add that. In fact, I'm kinda surprised that I didn't include it in the scroll view component. I probably need to do that. But first off, let's commit. Alright, that's gonna be complete information displayed on a line in the widget inspector or something. There we go. That is it. Right, the scroll bar. Where is the scroll bar? Scroll bar. There we go. And the scroll bar is this thing, and there's a scroll bar, and then there's the right pane. Okay, the scroll bar has been made part of the page frame, which is not something I like, not gonna lie, but yeah, well. You know, I can just... Yeah, maybe I'm gonna refactor this later, but for now, I'm just gonna copy it. Like that. A scroll rectangle size. Why is it defined as 32 here? That doesn't make sense. That's supposed to be part of the RSV. Why did I not use that? Self.rsv.element size. There we go. Surely that's gonna work. Right, let's verify that it still works. Huh. Why does it suddenly... Why is it wrong? Why is 32 okay and taking the element size is wrong? I don't get it. I must have forgotten to document something again. That's very me. Range star, range end. Yeah. That is certainly weird. Okay, it's just the rectangle itself. It's just the size of the rectangle itself, so it makes sense, but yeah. Either way, let's just add the scroll bar to the scroll view of the inspector. Which is right here. So we have the widget line badge thing, and this is the regular scroll view. Okay. So that means we're gonna want a widget let's say size fill, and that's gonna be it. And then I'm gonna call that the widget tree view. And the scroll view is gonna be inside. Then I'm gonna do widget tree view dot add. No, not dot add. It's UI dot add child the scroll view to the widget tree view. Then I close it. Like that. It's one more indentation now. We have the scroll view. Wait, what? And then I return the widget tree view, I guess. And then inside here, I add the scroll bar. Which I add to the widget tree view, and now that I realize it, it needs to be flex. Like the tree view needs to be flex. So flex row it is with a gap of 0. It doesn't compile. Oh. The RSV in question is the split RSV, isn't it? Let's accept that. What? What is the RSV that I'm using? It's just RSV. Okay, then. Then no self, no self, no self, and I think that's it. Yeah. And there we go. Wait. Yeah, that... Wait, what? That's... not very good, is it? Why does it stop there? Maybe my implementation is wrong somewhat. Yeah. My rectangle scroll view is kind of wrong there, probably. I'm probably gonna want to treat that bug, like fix that bug later on. Because yeah, it's not a good thing to have. Either way, it's there. The scroll view is there. And I think I'm gonna stop here. So... next time I'm gonna populate the widget inspector and then I'm basically gonna have one. And then I'm gonna want to make sure I can, like, okay, I cannot make a widget info panel before making sure I can actually select a line. So I'm gonna need to do that first. I think I can do it somewhat now, can I? Yeah, it's pretty easy because I can just... yeah. Okay. It's gonna be pretty easy. In this inspector state, so this is all gonna be part of the inspector state. I'm gonna create a struct to put all of these in at some point. I'm gonna have a selected line, widget line, and it's not necessarily gonna have anything. It's gonna be some option of use size for now, but maybe no, actually I'm gonna have a widget key in there. I think it's wiser to do it this way. Yeah, I'm gonna make it a widget key. Because then it doesn't depend on like the order in which stuff exists, and since it updates every frame, I don't know if you saw, but in the scroll view, when I scroll things, widgets that aren't in view are not being built. So when you move inside of the scroll view, widgets get created and deleted all the time, like new ones, and then they come and then they go. And that means that when I move into the scroll view, eventually, if I just store a use size or like an ID of the widget, like, okay, if I store an index into the list of widget lines that I have, and it's gonna go from one widget to the next, which is wrong. I want it to stay on the same widget, so I'm using a widget key to make sure that the selected widget line is correct. Now, let's make that selected widget line none, and this is, yeah, you can see it too, right? Like how insanely laggy this whole thing is. And it's definitely not that laggy when I'm doing it by myself. And yet the audio spectrum is completely fine. Like, what is going on? I'm not sure what to do about it, to be honest. Well. So anyways, what was I doing already? Like, what was the state? Hold on. Yeah, the selected widget line. Okay. So let's now make all the lines hoverable. Okay. So can hover can click like that, and then let's make the props like that. There you go. Then I'm going to change the color depending on its own state. So if line dot pressed, then it's going to be a certain color. If it's line dot hovered, it's going to be another color. Otherwise, it's nothing. Literally nothing, right? That's what it is right now. Okay. Now for line pressed, what am I gonna do? It's just gonna be say like 40. No, 20. And then 40 on hovered. There you go. Like that. that should be it for now, like just like the styling, at least. Oh, and also, if it is clicked, clicked, then, well, the debug inspector doesn't really tell us. So let's have a mute thing again. Selected line, just gonna be a mute option of widget key, like that. There we go. And there we go. So now we can modify the selected line. It's gonna be selected line equal to sum of the widget's key. Like that. So much state from the widget that I'm taking right now. So key, like that. Though I'm probably gonna do that later. There we go. Because I want to make the BG color something special first if the selected line corresponds to some key. If the selected line is already some key, then we want, like, say this color right here, but 20 of alpha. There we go. What is this? Right, I added an argument, didn't I? The selected line. Yep. Selected widget line. That should be enough. So now when I launch this, yes! And it's actually being selected, although the color is not strong enough. I'm probably gonna put 80 instead. Let's use 80 for this one. Yeah, that's more like it. A bit of a strong color, and also, it really shows how bad I am at designing, but it is what it is. Alright, we did get somewhere, so yeah, now the question is, do I want to implement the widget info now or later? I think I'm gonna do that later. Or not. I'm not sure. I am really not sure. What should I do now? Okay, I'm gonna make the widget info later on a different stream. And then that should be it. Actually, while I'm at it, let's look at why this thing here is just wrong, because this is not supposed to happen. Like, even when resizing, it should be like it should still be accurate, right? So something doesn't make sense here. So the thing that I'm passing, let's just make sure that I'm getting this right. The scroll view that I am passing to the debug inspector, first off, just to make stuff easier, let's collapse these. Layout badge, or maybe not actually, but instead this. There you go. That's the line. The debug inspector, I am providing a regular scroll view inside, right? And where it is declared, that regular scroll view is the inspector RSV, and the inspector RSV is initialized as having 0 elements right now. But inside of the debug inspector, the element count is provided, which means that the scroll bar should be correct, yet for some reason it isn't, and I'm not sure why. So maybe it's because of the element index? Yeah. I think that's why. Yeah, because the element index is like at the top of the view. Like, it's the index that corresponds to the first element that is being displayed. So For the regular scroll view, all of the math is there, like the space between elements, the visible start cursor. Okay. Then the visible height, the elem range. I need to have this as a method of the RSV, don't I? Where do I use visible start cursor? It's just in the visible elem range. Okay. What about visible height? Only in visible elem range. And SBE I use in multiple places, but it can be recalculated easily. So this is interesting. Okay, what about container height? Oh god, okay. Only use invisible height. Okay, I mean, let's just... And then the offset is just, we add an F32 to the... And it's the visual padding top, and it's taken from there as well. And this seems to only be used to calculate visible height and all of these things. And the width is used for something else. Okay. So these two are only used to ultimately get the visible element range. And they stem from the widget itself. So let's try making this method, shall we? Getting the visible elem range. So first thing we need is the widget itself. And that widget is the scroll view container that is it. So it's this one, right? This is a widget corresponding to the scroll view container. Gonna call it the SVC, just like I called the variable like that. Then I get all of the stuff I want from the SVC, but I do not care about the width, so I do not get it. Then once I have that, I obtain the visible element range like that. And then here, instead of redoing an SVC, I just do it like that, and SVC is taken from the widget. Since I'm not modifying it in this case. And this is the visible element range. Just start and like that. Something like that, right? It's yeah, it's an F32. Right? U size? Never mind then. It's indices. So it's U size, U size. Wait, the padding is what? Oh, it cannot find the type. Okay. And then the padding is from the container props. Okay. Sure. That seems weird, but okay. We'll take it. Wait a second. No, that's the container props, but the container props are taken from... Wait, the container is made to have no padding? Curious. Guess I did things like that. Okay. Padding is here, and then the viewport size is, yeah. I guess the viewport size is being used. And then all of the RSV stuff has to be replaced by self. So pretty easy. I think that's it. Oh wait, this one. Self. There we go. Except it takes mute self, actually. Wait a second, why does it modify cursor already? Oh, it clamps it. Right. That's the cursor end, yeah. That's not a good way to make the function. It's really not a good way to make this function. Like, the cursor is not supposed to be clamped right there. I'm gonna make it a to-do. This is not the right place to clamp the cursor. That should be in a different function. function. I'm gonna do it like that, and then have visible element range. Be used like that. So instead of width and whatever else, I have visible element range like that. So now I have width instead of the rect and all of this stuff. I have let visible element range equal to rsv dot visible element range using the self.viewport size, the padding, and the SVC in question. And then I don't need to do this anymore. Wait, the visible start cursor is something that was defined before. Okay, good. Oh god. Okay. It seems like the offset and the SBE are things I did not account for while putting this function elsewhere. Oh wait, I did say that calculating the SBE is the space between elements is easy because it's just that. So let's just do it like that. Let's just repeat it here. Right? That is the space between elements, and that fixes that problem. Now what about offset? And the offset is this whole thing. God. What am I even doing? Container height, visual padding top, and offset. Yeah, no, this part of the code is probably not the best architectured code out there, not gonna lie. I could probably do better than that. Visible element range. Like, I'm thinking, like, either I rename the function, because it's not just giving us the range of visible elements. It's doing something else as well. Like, it's clamping the cursor. It's like, yeah, this is a bad function. I really don't like how it is right now. There you go. Yeah, I really want to change this. Probably gonna do it off camera. No. So first I'm gonna return the visible element range, but I'm also going to return the offset. Yeah, it's like really bad. It's really not good code. Bad code. Bad code right now. Though it works. At least now we get the offset. So yeah, I guess. It is what it is. And that's the range, right? So now we should be able to use this elsewhere. SVC is the scroll view container. This widget, right? So let's copy this line, and where the regular scroll view is, it's somewhere in there. This is the left scroll view, and then we're gonna have a scroll bar attached to it somewhere, right? Unless, you know, this is the annotated blocks, right? So where is the scroll bar? Is here. There we go. So scroll bar is here, and then we're gonna do something like RSV dot offset invisible element range using the viewport size. Hello? Why is it not? Is it? Does it maybe want like it comes from the UI? Yeah, it comes from the UI. A viewport size, and then the padding comes from the left scroll view. Yeah, okay. That left scroll view padding equals widget padding. God. Widget padding HV 1010 like that, and then I just specify it as the padding like that. Then use it in the scroll view, or well here, the left scroll view padding, and then finally the scroll view container. Wait, why do I have a left pane there? It's just hugging everything. Wait, it's filling. Yeah, but this one is doing hug round fill as well. So why is there a left pane? And the scroll bar is not part of it? That seems pretty useless. Oh wait, there's a hovered block center, that's why. Makes sense. So let's have the left scroll view be above there. That way I have access to it here. So that would be UI.widget for left scroll view.id. Jesus Christ. D. There you go. Oh, and it couldn't find the left scroll view padding. It was not in scope. Makes sense. There we go. And we don't really care about the offset. So let's ignore it. And have visible element range. Like that. And here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take the element index. And then I'm gonna divide not by the count, but instead by the count minus visible element range. Size is gonna be, God, this is horrible. Dot 1 minus dot 0, I guess. Like the end minus the start. The visible element range size. And that should be very accurate. Okay, and that's for the first page. Now I just need to do the same for the scroll bar at the bottom. There we go. Same thing. It's RSV, and now instead of the left scroll view padding, it's just gonna be the scroll view padding. But yeah, no, it's not good. My God, like my typing feels so unreliable right now. Even though I'm typing exactly like I'm typing usually, it's just less responsive. and it seems to change everything. Like... so bad. Anyways, that should do it. That should make it more correct. Right? Oh god, only somewhat. This is another kind of wrong. Yeah, the scroll here is still wrong, and I'm not sure why. Let's just do +1, right? What the actual fuck? What do you mean, segfold? Just recompile everything. That is not supposed to happen. Like, huh? It's gonna take a bit of time because, well, I'm streaming, so yeah. I did not expect it to take that much time. This is debug mode. Seriously? What's going on? This is the slowest compilation I've ever had. It doesn't usually be. It isn't usually this slow. Like this is kind of an exception. Like this is weird. I didn't think streaming would take that much CPU power. That it would make me wait for more than like 4 minutes for this to finish. This is frankly ridiculous. Let me drink some water. I might not continue these streams if this is the kind of speed that I get if I'm streaming. Like, this is absolutely infuriating. I guess I need a desktop PC to continue this thing while streaming. Like, I'm both getting an abysmally slow compiler and a Z that's barely responsive to my inputs. That is insane. Or maybe I just need some kind of better encoding, but maybe it's just the limit of my laptop. Like, I don't know. It's all very confusing. This is so bad. God. When it opens, I'm gonna close the application immediately and see how long it actually took, which is something my shell tells me. Like sure, it's a clean build, but having to wait this long for anything other than like a deployment being done on the pipeline to release a binary is kind of weird. Or like kind of not worth it in some sense. It's been more than 10 minutes, that's for sure. What even is mock CMS? Oh, well, just below 10 minutes. That is still insane. What was I even looking at? Right. Yeah, this thing is somehow wrong. Yeah, I really need to fix the scroll view, I guess. This is wrong. Yeah. Guess I need to change that. Okay. Well, you know what? I'm gonna stop there, and on next stream I'm gonna just like either next stream or off camera I'm gonna just fix the scroll view if I can, and then we're gonna fill up this widget info that's there. Alright, see ya.